Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to The Sanctuary, episode 2. It's so crazy. It's almost like I'm filming it directly after episode 1. It's weird. Like, it's 12:20 a.m. Then it's literally the next day. Well, okay, it's the next day. That's kind of, okay. Well, I filmed episode 1 on the 23rd, but it's 12:30 a.m. right now, and it's the next day, so I guess it's technically not back to back. But episode 1 talked about Star Wars. My outline's right here. This is the episode 2 outline. If you're just listening and not watching, I'm holding the episode 2 outline in my hand, and the other hand is my episode 1 outline, and we were talking about Star Wars, and fuck that bullshit. Watch episode 1 for my reactions on Rise of Skywalker, non-spoiler, just reactions and state of Star Wars, talking about other previous Star Wars movies, and just the state of Star Wars. All Star Wars. It's just Star Wars. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. But not this episode. We're not talking about Star Wars, guys. We're not talking about Star Wars. We're talking about 2 TV shows that I just recently watched and are fucking amazing, and I think you should be checking them out. So, without further ado, this episode might be a little bit short. It might be shorter than my long-ass, ranty Star Wars episode, but I don't think that's a bad thing. So without further ado, there's two shows I want to be talking about. Sorry if I bang the table. I need to get a better desk, and I need to get a lot of better things for this podcast. I need to get a better mic. I need to get an actual camera. If you didn't know, this is also a YouTube channel, so it's not just a podcast. The YouTube channel launched before the podcast because I didn't want to upload anything without having actual podcast episodes. But if you're just listening, I film with my phone. So my iPhone, my iPhone 8. So it's a little fuzzy, it's a little shitty video quality, but I mean, come on, like, you get me. I mean, what more do you want? What more could you ask for? What more could you ask for other than Michael from Nerd Out Sanctuary? Come on. Like, I'm giving you some premium ass content. I'm drinking. I'm ranting about Star Wars in my first ever episode. And now I'm talking about 2 fucking badass TV shows. One being The Expanse. Let me tell you how fucking amazing The Expanse is. I just watched season 4. I was a latecomer to this show. It was recommended to me by my friends, other hardcore sci-fi enthusiasts. We all love gushing about anything hard sci-fi, everything that the mainstream fucking thinks is boring, we love. And if you do too, then you will love The Expanse. Honestly, even if you're into the mainstream shit, I still think you would love The Expanse. I think everyone should be watching The Expanse because it's amazing. So, if you don't know what The Expanse is, it was a show that was on Sci-Fi. It was on the Sci-Fi channel for 3 seasons, and then it got randomly canceled, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate. But the awesome story behind The Expanse is the fans rose up, got petitions together, signed those petitions, rode into the studio, rode into Jeff Bezos himself, and you were like, bro, pick this goddamn show up because it's fucking badass. I heard a rumor that George R.R. Martin, the writer of Game of Thrones, wrote Jeff Bezos and was like, yo, dude, bruh, pick this goddamn show off the ground because it's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. And I agree with George R.R. Martin. It's quite incredible. And the 4th season, being not the best season, is still amazing. Like, wow. So let's get into The Expanse a little bit. I have written down in my notes, it's a hard sci-fi television show that was once broadcast by Sci-Fi. We already talked about this. Amazon just released its 4th season, December 13th of this year, which I watched it literally a week ago. I binged the entire thing, and we'll be continuing the show with a 5th season at a later down the road. Probably, I'm guessing a year from now. All 4 seasons are available on Amazon Prime right fucking now. So go, if you have Amazon Prime, watch it. If you don't, you should get Amazon Prime, and I will be getting into that a little bit on my last segment of the show. This show is only going to have 3 segments. I'm going to be talking about The Expanse, another Amazon Prime TV original television show, and I want to talk about Amazon Prime in general at the end. So, the world of The Expanse is based off of a novel series by a man named James S.A. Corey, and the first book being Leviathan Wastes. This doesn't have a consistent title. Each book is a different title. I've never read the books personally. I want to ask my one friend who recommended this show to me if he's read any of the books. I hear great things about them, and I hear the 5th one is like fucking incredible, and that's what the 5th season is going to be. I'm pretty sure, so can't fucking wait. So if you don't know The Expanse takes place hundreds of years in our future, where the human race has expanded from Earth, but we still live on Earth. But humans have expanded to Mars and the asteroid belt and some of the moons around Jupiter, I'm pretty sure. So we follow 3 main factions of human society. We got the Earthers who live on Earth. You know, they're more of the high-class political intrigue type of storylines, very highbrow type of people. And then we got people who live on Mars, or the Martians, who are more industrialists, you know, imperialists. You got some sprinkles of like Spartan and Roman society, early America, like this ambition, manifest destiny type of bullshit there. They're all in one drive, is to terraforming Mars. And that's just what they're about. And their military is very militaristic. Sorry, I can't speak. I'm not good with words. If you didn't know, I studied engineering and not English, so yeah, I can't speak words too well, but getting along with it. I could do a lot of math, and I was doing a lot of sciences, which is utilized to its utmost benefit, if that makes any sense. The Expanse, the way The Expanse uses science to enhance their show and to make their show so much more intense and visceral. It is so cool. So the Expanse, let's get, hold on. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So we got the Martians, and then we have the Belters, which are a society who just live in the asteroid belt, and they mine the asteroids, and they supply the inner planets. These Belters are more of the almost like bottom feeders type of society in the world that we live in. You know, they live in really rough conditions. They live without a government. They, it's almost like it's survival of the fittest. It's like you gotta find, your parents aren't giving you food. You have to find your own fucking food, which is scary. Like, it's just a scary way to live. It's not how any human being should live. Unfortunately, that it exists in this world, but in this show, it exists in the belt. And, we have this terrorist organization that's called the OPA. You'll get into more of that. I don't want to spoil anything for you. But, it follows, this show follows, a group of diverse cast of characters. I'm sorry. I got done filming, Star Wars just got me all flustered. But it follows a diverse cast of characters. Something happens on this ice mining ship. It blows up. And we have, some characters think it's the Martians, and this sparks a potential for war between all the factions. So that's kind of where we begin our show, and shit ensues. But like I was talking about before, let's talk about the science a little bit of this show and how it utilizes realistic science to its benefit. I mean, we're talking using gravity boots on ships where we don't have artificial gravity like Star Trek or at whatever else space movies. Like they wear gravity boots in 0G at all times. Ships travel backwards in most shots because they're decelerating. They have their engines going and their ships are like reversed going because they have to have an opposite force going the opposite way to have them stop or decelerate when they're like coming into dock or going into orbit or something like that. It's crazy. When they're doing like a high speed jump, they get injections so they can handle the amount of G force that they can withstand without dying, because that's a real thing when you're in space, because the amount of speed that you have to propel yourself to even escape orbit, like it's pretty intense. It's a lot of G-force. It's a lot of training that goes involved with it. Astronauts, there's a reason why they're like the tippy top of of just the human race. Like they're just real special. So yeah, the science in the show is incredibly realistic and it's incredibly cool. I mean, obviously it's not it's not like everything is not the most realistic thing in the world. Like obviously some liberties have to be taken for storytelling, but in general, it's crazy. The showrunner of the show has a PhD in physics and applied physics and electrical engineering, and from Cornell as well, which is. So the showrunner's fucking smart. These smart fucking people are working on this show, and it's fucking incredible. Like, I cannot praise the show enough. I will say the first season is a little bit... It's kind of hard to just, tell what the motivations of each characters are. Like, you don't really know anything about these characters. You're like, okay, James Holden, the main character... Like, you just don't really know why he's, trying to save the world. It's like, why are you trying to be the good guy here? Like, I don't really understand. I guess that's just, you can find out later, it's pretty much just in his nature. If you've ever played Mass Effect, the BioWare game, between you and me, personally, it's my favorite video game series of all time. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite video game of all time. If you've never played them before, play them. You will not regret it. You won't, I guarantee you. But The Expanse feels extremely like Mass Effect. Big story, a lot of mystery involved. The main character's like him against everyone else. Like, he's just trying to do the right thing. He's trying to save the entire universe, basically, the entire galaxy himself. And there's a very diverse group of there's a very diverse cast of characters, and they're all awesome. They all have their amazing own backstories that you don't really find out in the first season. It's kind of why it's a little bit hard to get attached to them. That's why I kind of wasn't incredibly getting into it in the first season. The first season is very intriguing, and it's very cool. The effects in the show are, by the way, phenomenal. It's incredible. I want to know how much each episode costs. I'm sure I can look that up, but it's amazing. I mean, the show is incredible. The 4 seasons really cool. They go to somewhere where they've never been before. It's massive. The scope of the story is incredibly huge. It's worth a watch. Like, watch the first season, see if you like it. If you're kind of on the fence, watch the second. Get into it. You'll get a lot into it a little bit more. I love the second and third seasons. I like the first season, but I love the second and third seasons, and I kind of love the fourth season as well. It's amazing, and you'll fall in love with these characters when you find out a little bit more about them. So just give this, again, pretty much like anything hard sci-fi. You just kind of have to get a little bit of time, you know. Like, even the Star Trek Next Generation, it took them fucking 3 seasons to really get going. So, let's, give it a little time, you know. little breathing room. Give it a little breathing room. Let it live. It's fine. But again, the first season is far from bad. So watch it. Just watch it. It's pretty fucking good. So with that, let's talk about another amazing Amazon Prime original show. In The Boys. I just watched the first season of The Boys, and holy shit. Wow. I was not expecting The Boys to be so goddamn good. Like, I heard good things about it, but wow. Like, holy shit, incredible. Like, I was heavily impressed. I mean, just the opening of the first episode. Wow. If you've never heard of The Boys, it's a Amazon original show that is based off of a graphic novel of the same name, The Boys, by a guy named Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. I'm familiar with Garth Ennis heavily because he did a graphic novel called Preacher back in the day, and I've read all of Preacher, and it's some of the best entertainment I could recommend. It's so good. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably talk about it. I watched a little bit of the show, the AMC show. Couldn't really get into it. Maybe I'll give it another shot some other time and get back to you guys. But the graphic novel, the comic, is, I could not recommend that comic more. It's amazing. Now, if you're easily offended by stuff, definitely don't read it because it is incredibly vulgar. It is incredibly dark and incredibly graphic, but some of the funniest shit I will ever see and ever read. I have a pretty sick sense of humor, so Preacher really appealed to me, which makes sense why The Boys appealed to me so much. So if you're unfamiliar with The Boys, it's basically a story if superheroes were real, if the Justice League was real, because there's superpowered characters in this show, and they have it's the Justice League. It is the Justice League. There's a Superman, there's an Aquaman, there's a Flash, there's a Wonder Woman, but they're obviously different names. But it's basically if this world had actual superheroes, and if they were pretty much actual people. So if they were all shitty fucking human beings, basically. So yeah, that's the story, and we follow this main character named Huey. Something happens to him, and it's pretty visceral and pretty holy fuck. I can't believe that just fucking happened. And it's in the very first episode, and it gets you hooked. It instantly gets you hooked, and the show's great. It's just great. It's super funny. The dialogue is amazing. The jokes are incredibly well written. It's the style of it is very comic book-esque, which I appreciate. Again, if you like kind of really vulgar, dark humor, you'll love it. If you really like dark stories, you'll love it. Something happens to our main character, Huey, and he basically has an axe to grind with one of these superheroes, one of the Justice League superheroes. It's the Flash character. His name is A-Train. So he has an axe to grind with him. And the Justice League has another name. It's called the Seven. There's 7 superheroes led by the Superman type of character, and his name is Homelander. And let me tell you, the guy who plays Homelander, I don't know what his. I'm gonna look up his name because he deserves some fucking praise. Because every time, you need to be absolutely pissing your pants because when you're like watching Homelander, you do. Like the way he pulls off this like fucking psychotic dude, it's like I'm peeing my pants and I know this is not real, but like they really capture like how a guy with Superman powers can just literally kill everyone, and everyone just has to be like walking on pins and needles around him, and it's just like, okay, how can we not piss this dude off? Fuck. All right, so my internet's crapping out right now. Maybe. What is his name here? I'm scrolling down the cast right now. What's his name? Anthony Starr. Well done, man. Well done. You're not listening, but like, wow, great job. All the actors in the show do great. The guy who plays Huey's phenomenal. Carl Urban as Billy Butcher. He's the guy who basically recruits Huey into his, ragtag team of dudes who have axes to grind with Supes, or the superpowered people in the show, and basically, spank them in the ass, as Billy Butcher would say. Fucking diabolical, mate. Fucking diabolical. I love his accent. I love Carl Urban. He's just amazing. He's so fucking funny. And when he needs to be badass, he's so badass. He fights a superhero in one of the first episodes, and it's amazing. It's funny. It's badass. It's cool the way they do it. The whole show is great, and it's very interesting, and I highly recommend it. The first season is on Amazon Prime right now. There's only 8 episodes, but they're 8 lengthy episodes, and they do go by pretty fast. Like, it's kind of crazy how short they feel, but they are very long. Each episode's like an hour long, and there's no commercials because it's Amazon Prime. It's great. But even the side characters that's part of the team, I love the character Frenchie. Frenchie is hilarious. I forget the African American dude's name. What's his name? I'll look at it later. But anyway, yeah, the show's amazing. Like The Expanse, I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it already, I'm sure most of you have, but it's worth a watch. I still got my whiskey from my first episode. Man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep drinking whiskey for these episodes. It's probably gonna be not a new an ongoing thing, but I don't know. I just felt like I needed to when I was talking about Star Wars. This is not the Star Wars episode, so I should stop talking about it. Go watch my first episode. I think it's probably pretty funny. I haven't listened to it yet because I'm just filming this one, so we'll see. I hope you're enjoying this absolute debauchery. Again, I'm sorry if this isn't the greatest, First off, this is only my second episode. I've literally only been doing this for a week now. So, I'm fidgeting a lot, I'm stuttering a lot. I'm sorry about that, but, it is what it is. Let's get back to The Boys a little bit before I move on. The guy who plays the Aquaman character, his name is The Deep. The character name is The Deep in The Boys. His name is Chase Crawford, the actor. Another really, again, everyone does incredible. He does really well. Guy who plays Huey is named Jack Quaid. And again, amazing. The chick who plays Starlight is absolutely gorgeous. She's another main character in the show. She is an up-and-coming superhero who gets the chance to become one of the 7, and it's her dream, and it's kind of a story of being naive, it's not always great to meet your heroes because you learn how they're fucking shitheads, that type of stuff. Who's the chick who plays Starlight. Erin Moriarty. Yeah, she's gorgeous. It's official. But anyway, yeah. Do you know what? The action, there's not a lot of it. I would say if you're looking for superhero action, watch the Marvel movies. Don't watch this show. Okay? Like, there's not a lot, but when there is, it is cool. Like, when Homelander, like, does his laser vision and, like, just completely lasers through a guy, you're like, holy fuck. There's a scene in the show where he's just doing it nonchalantly, and there's just dudes fucking dropping everywhere. They're not just dropping. You know, halves of them are dropping. Like, they're getting lasered in, like, 4 pieces. It's disgusting, and it's fucking awesome. It's scary. It's amazing. It's all of the above. It's amazing. Watch it. Now, I do like the way they portray the heroes being these, like, almost like kind of like Instagram models. Like, it's all about public perception and Instagram models is a bad analogy. They're like politicians. Like, they worry about approval rating. You know, there's this big storyline about having Supes being, like, you know, allowed in the military, or even being controlling the military because they're so goddamn powerful. And this is a big main story beat throughout the entire season, so that's really important. But I'm not going to spoil anything for you because it's amazing. Again, it's almost like a political, societal satire, which I love. It's not incredibly original because Watchmen has existed for a while, but, like, it's funnier than The Watchmen. Like, there's a lot more comedy. I mean, The Watchmen is phenomenal if you've ever read the graphic novel. I haven't read Watchmen in a while. I should reread The Watchmen. I don't remember too much about it other than the main shit. But yeah, The Boys, watch it. Again, Amazon Prime. Let's get into Amazon Prime for the final segment of this show. Amazon Prime has just been kicking ass recently. I mean, with their originals. It makes sense. I mean, Amazon is like one of those mega corporations now that are just basically owning the world. Up there with Google and Apple and fucking Disney now, owning fucking Marvel and Star Wars now. Jesus Christ. Big money maker. And both of these shows are some of, like, the best entertainment you can get right now that has come out recently, and they're both on Amazon Prime. And they don't only have these 2 shows. I hear Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is fucking incredible. I have not personally watched that. But, like, my mom watches it, and every time I walk in and she's watching it, and, like, there's some witty dialogue. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, you know what? Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. And the chick from House of Cards is in it. It looks really good, and I hear nothing but good things about it. I hear that Jack Ryan original show is pretty good, and that newer show, I think it's called Hunters. I'm pretty sure it's called Hunters, with Al Pacino in it. And I think it's about they're, like, hunting like leftover Nazis from World War II, and I think it takes place in the 70s. That's extremely interesting to me, and I love Al Pacino, and just the way Amazon has been kicking ass right now. I mean, I just kind of want to, like, take a moment and, like, kind of, like, just praise Amazon for really kicking ass with their streaming service. I mean, if we're just, like, looking at other streaming services right now that rival Amazon, I mean, let's look at, you know, Netflix and see what they got. You know, they had House of Cards, which was fucking phenomenal. It was so good. Even without talking about the whole Kevin Spacey bullshit and the way it ended, it was great while it was great. Like, when it was good, it was really fucking good. Orange is the New Black. I mean, people love it. I never really got into it. I fucking hated Piper. I hated the main characters. All the side characters, great. The main characters, I wanted to fucking shoot them. Like, they just sucked. So I never really got into it. The Stranger Things, again, criticisms are thrown out. It's like, is it really that original? Or are they really pretty much just taking whatever they're into and just, like, kind of putting it all together? Yeah, that's valid, but I still think the Stranger Things is amazing. We'll see how amazing it still is after they come out with a fourth season. I really think they should have just ended it with the third, but we'll see. There's other originals on Netflix, and I know The Witcher just came out. I haven't watched The Witcher. I need to watch that because I love The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I mean, it's the only Witcher game I played, and I haven't even finished it. It's just so goddamn massive. It's such a commitment. But when I did, I'm like, it's one of those games where someone would come up to me and be like, you know what? The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the best video game of all time. I would be like, well, I can't really argue with you. Like, cause I don't disagree with you. Because it's like, it might actually be the best video game ever made. It's not my personal favorite, but like, I can't really argue that it's not. You know, so I should watch The Witcher. I'm excited to watch that. Yeah, if I do and I finish it, I will get back to you for sure. Absolutely, after I finish it. I don't really believe in reviewing television shows episode by episode. That's a discussion for another time. Another future episode. I'll discuss that a little bit. I just think, like, when you're doing it episode by episode, it's just not the full story. I think the full story is a full season. That's how it should be. You should just wait, you know, because then you're just hypercritical of each episode. But anyway, so let's go to HBO. Again, they had Game of Thrones. They had the glory days with like Sopranos, and I guess back when Game of Thrones was good. Look how that fucking turned out. Man, that sucked. That was bad. That was really bad. Another really fucking disappointment. But recently they had Chernobyl, which again, it's a mini series, but like, wow, what a watch. Like, if you haven't seen Chernobyl, watch it. It's fucking incredible. But other than that, I mean, there's really not too much new for HBO. Like, I watched the first season of Westworld, and that was really good. But again, it was really good. But I never watched the second. I heard the first season was better, so I was just like, okay, I'll wait. And I never really got around to it. True Detective. Again, season 1 is probably some of the best television you'll ever see, ever. Like, it's an 8-hour film. It's phenomenal. Really, Michael? Phenomenal. Again, English is fucking hard for me. But yeah, Matthew McConaughey's best performance ever. Woody Harrelson is spectacular. It's incredibly dark. It's a detective story, a murder mystery in suburbs of Louisiana and fucking middle of fucking nowhere in the bayou, but it's amazing. But second season stinks. Never saw the third. It didn't really intrigue me that much. I didn't really hear good or bad things about it. I didn't really hear anything about it. So maybe I'll give it a shot. But again, I'm not subscribed to HBO. I don't think, anyone else that I know is, for me to mooch off of. Again, don't fucking judge me. You do it too. Stop. You do it too. But yeah, I'm sorry. I need to keep talking. I can't just keep leaving you guys hanging like that. Wow. But anyway, Hulu. Let's go to Hulu. Not much. There's really not much other than what Handmaid's Tale I hear is really good. But other than that I don't really know anything else that Hulu does. But I mean, Hulu's still worth subscribing to. There's so much TV on there. Plus Rick and Morty. Like, Rick and Morty's on Hulu. It's on nowhere else. Like, that's worth the price of admission itself. Rick and Morty's fucking amazing. It's one of those shows where you watch it more and more, and the funnier it gets. I highly recommend Rick and Morty, but again, if you're a fucking nerd, you've watched Rick and Morty. Like, Jesus Christ. Morty! I get a Szechuan sauce, Morty. Yeah, and now, like, Disney Plus came out, so that's worth it, too. Well, Disney Plus is worth it just because of all the Disney movies. Disney movies are expensive as hell on Blu-ray, man. Like, the original Toy Story on Blu-ray is still $25. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Yes, I get it. Toy Story is a classic. It's one of the best films ever made, and it's my favorite Pixar movie. But damn, $25 fucking bucks when I can buy a fucking original copy of, like, I don't know, The Sandlot for like $5 on Blu-ray. Like, come on, dude. Yes, I said I brought up The Sandlot. Yes, it's one of my favorite movies of all time because I used to play baseball and I love baseball. So shut up and let's get back into this fucking discussion. But yeah, Disney Plus. I mean, the only show really. I mean, I haven't watched anything else on Disney Plus other than The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian's really good. It's worth watching. Honestly, probably just if you're a Star Wars fan. Like, if you're not into Star Wars, I wouldn't really recommend The Mandalorian to you. But, I mean, everyone likes Star Wars in some level. Like, they like something about Star Wars. I would hope. But, again, I can't blame you if you don't now. But, anyway, so, I mean, I'm blanking on other streaming sites that you can use that have original shows, but Amazon's really just kicking ass right now. Just right now, currently, they're kicking ass with The Expanse, The Boys, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Jack Ryan, fucking whatever else they got going on. I'm sure is pretty good, and I'm probably going to be watching that Hunters show. That looks really intriguing to me. I don't know, anything dealing with like World War II stuff, and plus like it's in the 70 time period, which is not World War II, but like, I don't know, dealing with Nazis. I mean, they're just a classic bad guy. Like, I mean, it's so easy. It's just such an easy bad guy because everyone fucking universally hates Nazis. I mean, come on. So, and plus Al Pacino. I mean, come on. Hoo-ha! Motherfucker. I'm sorry for that. I am so sorry for these shitty-ass voices and impressions. I'm probably going to keep doing them because it's just me. So, I mean, I don't blame you if you hit the unsubscribe button. Let's just say that. But, anyway. On that note, thanks. I hope you watch The Expanse and The Boys and support Amazon Prime. Maybe subscribe to them because they are kicking ass. I am. I'm not kicking ass. Maybe I will be, but am I subscribed? Yes and no. I'm using my sister's subscription, so thank you, sis. Love you. But anyway, yeah. Watch The Expanse, watch The Boys. They're fantastic TV shows. It's a good escape. It's a good escape. And with that, let's get into my final message for you, episodic message, which is it's okay to just not be okay. Times are hard. Especially when you're like getting up every morning, going to school or going to a job that you don't like, and you're just, life can suck. I know that better than anyone else. Like, life can really, really suck. But just because your life sucks now doesn't mean it's never going to get better. So hang in there. Take these bad moments and turn them into positive things and, personal growth moments. Because, it's not going to be forever. So, watch a movie, watch a TV show, get away for a little bit, pull some ideas together to get yourself out of the rut that you're in right now. And, I hope you all have a nice night, day, whatever, if you're listening to this, going to work, have a nice day at work, just enjoy life, enjoy the people around you, enjoy the great fucking stories that are available to you, which I will continue to talk about and let you know about. So, with that said, thanks for tuning in again, or if it's your first time, thank you. Subscribe. I'm going to be trying to do this probably once a week, maybe twice a week. We'll see, At first, I'm probably going to be trying to get more episodes out just to, get in the swing of things, get used to this. This is only my second episode, so I'm sorry if it's so rough. The video quality is not the best. The audio quality is not the best, but I hope maybe it's entertaining and informative on some fucking level. So with that, thanks again. I'm sorry I'm saying thanks, but, it's just, I'm a newbie, so I'm going to repeat myself a lot, so I'm going to end this right now. So, thanks and goodbye. See you next time, guys.